following has been developed by state and provincial agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Television, together serving education.
So, when electricity passes through the filament of the light bulb, the resistance to the passage of the electrons as they flow from the negative to the positive creates a glow that gives us the light from the light bulb. And that's how it works. I hope that answers your question. You know, just looking at you, I get the feeling that you don't quite understand. I mean, just looking at you, I can tell that maybe I should explain it another way. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but people do tend to send out little signals when they aren't quite following what you're saying. Yes, there's definitely something about your expression that leads me to believe you don't quite understand. What do you think?
I bet something like that's happened to you. Maybe not just that way, but I bet you've tried to explain something to someone and gotten the feeling you just weren't getting your point across. That question mark may not be actually flashing above the person's head, but it's there nonetheless. Now, there are several reasons why that question mark might suddenly appear. Maybe you're not giving the person enough information. Maybe you're giving too much, which is sometimes just as confusing. Maybe it's not the right type of information. The important thing is, how can you deal with a breakdown in communication when it happens? Take, for example, giving someone directions. Say someone's trying to find a store on the other side of town.
So anyway, my niece is about your age. Do you think she'd like a ring like that for her graduation present?
If she doesn't, she's nuts.
It's really pretty. Is it expensive?
Well, I was told I could get a really good deal on it at a Compton's Jewelers, but I don't know where that is exactly.
It's over on the other side of town.
Where on the other side of town?
By the thruway.
I can explain it. It's simple.
Oh, good. I was kind of hoping it was.
First, you go down 6 blocks. Maple, cedar, spruce, oak, pine, and pecan. Got that?
Yeah, I think so. But...
Or another way to put it is 1.2 kilometers.
Kilometers?
Yeah, I measured it once. I forgot why.
Oh, that was probably when you guys were watching Mathwise. Okay. 6 blocks. 1.2 kilometers. Maple, cedar, oak, pine.
No, maple, cedar, spruce, oak, pine, and pecan. Or you could take the thruway and forget about maple, cedar, spruce, oak, pine, and pecan.
Forget about them?
Yeah, I would, unless you were leaving between 4 and 6 in the afternoon. The traffic's all backed up by then.
Well, I was going after school.
Well, in that case, don't forget maple, cedar, spruce, oak, pine, and pecan.
Okay, don't forget them.
Okay, now you're on what street?
Oak.
No, what street?
Spruce.
No, what street? W-A-T-T.
Oh, what street?
Now, what street curves around? At one point, it looks like if the name has changed to Carson. But that's because the Department of Public Works put the sign up wrong, making it look like Carson is the street you're on and what is a cross street. But it's not. It's the opposite from that.
Opposite from what?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Exactly.
Oh, W-A-T-T.
And now we're coming to the tricky part.
Tricky part? The place couldn't be that hard to find, otherwise they'd go out of business. Now, while it's true that Joyce didn't give Miss Dockstedder enough information, Rita was heaping it on in great gobs. Still, everything Rita told Miss Dockstedder was information that could have helped her find the jewelry store. So how can you tell if the information you're giving someone is really getting through, if it's the right type and the right amount? Well, you should monitor or gather information back from the person you're communicating with. That can simply be done by asking the person if he or she understands. It can also be done by reading body language. Now, take a look at this. What does Miss Dockstedder's body language tell you? Is she getting the message? Even without asking, it's easy to see that communication has broken down. so it helps to monitor the person you're communicating with. If there seems to be a breakdown, you can revise your message. You can put things in a different way, give more details, fewer details, maybe change the approach. Monitor and revise. You know one of the best places to see this in action? Right in your own classroom, or in any classroom.
Imagination. But you will have your poster like that. Cut out, please.
Mara Osland is a classroom teacher. Every time she speaks to her class, she monitors them to see if she's getting through.
So after you draw it, you're going to cut it out. Marital status.
Today, I was trying to teach the students a new format for a book report, which was a biography.
Not married. So we want to know, was your person married?
I needed to, first off, provide them with a handout explaining how we were going to change our book report format, and then step by step go through it, so that I was sure that they understood what I expected of them.
Right?
In order to be assured that they are understanding as I go along, I first observe them, because I'm very familiar with their body language, with the way that they talk to me, through the way they move, the expressions on their faces, and I'm aware of their understanding or lack of understanding often simply by watching them. And I can see it in their eyes and the expression on their faces.
So in the very first paragraph, if you're standing here talking to us about your book, I want to know first what? What should I know first, Delilah? Picture.
I will question them
POV.
and make
I
sure
use
that as I teach each
abbreviation.
segment,
How?
that they've understood what I've just said by maybe, possibly, as I did in the lesson, putting words on the board, vocabulary that I'm sure they don't understand, so they've got something visual.
That means vital. I said I want vital statistics.
I could very easily go through an entire lesson and have completed the lesson, for example, that I did today in 10 minutes, had I not stopped to ask the students if they were understanding or to assure that they were understanding. But in so doing, when I did get the final reports from the students, I would not have achieved what I had set out to achieve. And I had specific things in mind that I wanted them to understand in the reading of a biography in this particular lesson that they would not have picked up on had they not proven to me, they had not shown me that they understood what I was asking for.
This idea of monitoring, then revising to improve the communication should become almost second nature. What if you were having a heated debate with someone? Oftentimes, during arguments, communications are misunderstood. And because things happen so fast, you need to be fast on your feet with monitoring and revising. Watch how this happens.
You don't know how mad you made me yesterday when you made that crack about my feet. When I got home, all I could think about was how mad you made me. What does that mean?
It means I don't see why you're so mad about it. It was only a joke.
Maybe you forgot exactly what you said, Jeff. Right there, right in front of everybody, for no reason. You said, Sally, your feet are as big as swim fins.
It was only a joke.
To you? But can't you see how mad that would have made me?
No, I still don't. You're way too sensitive. So your feet are a little too big. You'll grow into them.
All right, let's put it this way. Remember last year when your mom had you get your hair cut by that guy that got trained to do hair in the Army? And remember when he cut your hair 2 centimeters from your ear all the way around? Remember how mad you were when everybody called you white walls for about a month? Well, that's how I feel. And that's how I feel right now. Do you understand a little better now?
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said it. I definitely shouldn't have said it. Sorry.
Okay. Apology accepted.
Sally was trying to impress Jeff with how upset she was. She monitored his reaction by both keeping an eye on him and by directly asking him if he was getting her point. She had to revise her approach twice before he got the point. But the point is, she did get her point across, which is more than we can say about Rita and her directions. You remember?
Now, what street curves around? At one point, it looks like if the name has changed to Carson. But that's because the Department of Public Works put the sign up wrong, making it look like Carson is the street you're on and what is a cross street. But it's not. It's the opposite from that. Now, do you understand so far?
No. In fact, I have never understood anything less in my entire life.
Well, I was just trying to be thorough.
Thorough? I asked for simple directions. I get a geography lesson.
Okay, let's stop.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Let's go back to the beginning and assume Rita has already seen this program and knows how important it is to monitor the person you're speaking to, and if necessary, revise your message.
I can explain it. Go down 6 blocks. Maple, cedar, oak, pine, and pecan.
Spruce. You forgot spruce.
Cedar, spruce, oak, pine, and pecan. Is that confusing?
Well, it's just when I go across town, I don't usually drive that way.
Well, let me see this. Okay. Do you know where the Linwood Mall is?
Yes.
You know that street that runs behind it?
You mean the narrow one?
Yeah, that's it. You take that road to the first stoplight, turn right, and it's halfway up the block on the left.
Oh, a map. Well, that seems easy enough. In fact, I think I'm going to go over there right now.
By the way, what was the name of that street again?
Yeah.
Yes, what?
What was the name of that street?
That's what I'm asking you.
You know, I can tell by the look on your face we're not communicating.
Funny, I was just thinking the same thing.
Hey, there's something new. They're monitoring each other. Now, the second time around, things went much better with the directions. Rita made an effort to monitor Miss Dockstedder's reactions. Remember, Sally did the same thing when she was talking to Jeff. Both Rita and Sally were able to revise what they were saying. Rita simplified her directions based on what Miss Dockstedder already knew, and she also included a map. Think of monitoring as being aware of the person you're talking to. Think of revising as being flexible. If you're not getting through one way, be flexible. Try another.
This series was produced by the Tom Eberhart Company through the facilities of KRMA and KOCE TV under the supervision of the Agency for Instructional Television.